Hello, a wonderful time to be with you once again. It's been a while I have posted. We're gonna have a good time. This very one we are going to be doing is statistics one, and we're going to be dealing with data collection and analysis. My name is Godwin. Otto Godwin. This very one is lesson one, and it's going to answer for the people that are in SS1, SS2. It's going to also answer for SS3 students. These are the class this is going to be dealing with. So, what is data collection and analysis? Data are any numerical facts or information which can be measured or given in numerical qualification. There are various methods of analyzing data. These methods include observation. We can do that via observation, and we can also use the mathematical principle. We can also use mathematical principles in order to get or to analyze data. Data in itself is actually collection, involves the gathering of variables. When you gather variables, it's a process of collection of data. Now, this variable itself are events. Variable itself are events or occurrences that may take different values. Examples that may take different values. Examples of variables are, you can have heights, you can have ages, you can have weights, you can have marks. We can equally have volumes, and etc. like that. There are two major divisions of these variables. It can either be in discrete form, or a continuous form. Yes, that's the way in which these variables can be. It can be in form of discrete or in form of continuous form. Now, discrete variables takes exact values. Discrete variables takes exact values, usually whole numbers. A full numbers, not the one that is having decimal and all of that. So they are obtained by counting. For instance, the number of students offering economics, in a class. You can equally have the number of cars that use a particular road. and so on like that. So those ones are discrete. Then the number of cars that use a particular roads and so on like that. Continuous variables, which is the second one. Continuous variables, on the other hand, are those which takes infinite number of values between two fixed points on the scale. Now, what is this infinite? What is this infinite? Infinite simply means countlessly, boundless, endless, innumerable. That is, there are so many, so much that I can't really count on. So that's what infinite means. They are obtained by measuring. Now I'm back to continuous variable. They are obtained by measuring, e.g., the weight of students in a particular school. Yes, that's one. The production returns on industrial products. Industrial products is not stable. Might have different values today, have another value tomorrow, and so on. So it is innumerable. It is countless. That is what infinite means. So now, when data are collected, they are expected to be analyzed. We are expected to analyze this data, summarize, interpreted before they can be used for whatever purpose for which they are collected. So these values or this data, either in discrete or infinite, must be summarized, interpreted, before it is now used. Now, in order not to get confused, while doing this, these values need to be in a tabular form. Let's say you've gotten your data. If you look at this very well, you will notice that these numbers, these values, the data is discrete because it is obtained by counting. So it is discrete. It's a whole number. You will notice also the least score there is 12. The least score in this this value that is gotten, the least is 12. The highest score there is 30. 30, yes. So that's the point here now. In order to summarize the data without distorting the information that is being given, the data may be presented by the use of a table called the frequency table. So this is called the frequency table. In order not to be distorted or confused in the course of analyzing this value, interpreting, analyzing, summarizing, whatever word you would like to use, we have to be in a table form. So you have the scores, we have the tally, and we have the frequency. Now, what is frequency table? This very table we are having here. The frequency, the word frequency there is, the frequency table shows the number of times a particular event occur in a given data. The frequency here, the frequency table shows the number of times a particular event occurs in a given data or information. The frequency table usually consists of three columns, which I have mentioned before. The first column contains each of the events given in the data. If you check these values that are here, you will notice there is 12. There is 12. Each of the values given here, 12. There exists 12 here. There are an existence of 15. It's here also. Is here if you look at it. Then you have 20. 20 is also in this place. We have 25. Just go back, all the events that occurs. So we have it at that end. So the first column, they consist of 3 columns. The first, which I've mentioned, the first column contains each of the events given in the value. Now the second column is used to make strokes, which represents the number of times a particular event appears. Now in this very figure here, the number of times in which 12 occurs, you can do it yourself. I will not want to waste much time. If you trace it, you can count the number of times 12 exists. We have 12 here, we have 12 here, we have 12 here, 12 here, you have 12 here, and there's another one here, and on like that. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Let's see again. Is there any other 12? Yeah, there's another 12 here, and and there's another one here. You can see another one. Everything put together is about 16. Please take your time to count. So in the second column is represented in a tally form. So how many times the 12 occurs? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. The one that makes it 5, you cross it. You count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. You cross it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You cross it. The one that makes it 5, and then 1. So the same thing to this one. Go back to where the data are written and count how many 15 that you can find there. So it gives you what to put down as your tally. Because of time, I don't want to do that. So yes, let's go on. Yes. Then the last one. I'll just do one, so you get. Now frequency from the definition, which already tells us that this the frequency column. The frequency column shows the number of times a particular event is repeated in a given data. So we have 12. 12 got repeated in the values here 16 times. So I'm going to write 16. So here is 16. If I check this now, 5, 5, and 3 is definitely going to tell us is 13. We have 5, 5 here. This is 10. We have 5 here, just 5. We have 5, and then 2 definitely is telling us 7. So if it's not clear, let me come to these values. You see that I said if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is why we have 16. So 12 appears 16 times. That's what frequency is all about. So summary of what we have been doing so far. We say data can be in discrete or can be in continuous form. Discrete are whole number. When you say the number of students offering economics in a class, while continuous is infinite. When you talk about the production in a company, you talk about measuring of weight of students. It varies. You can measure a student's weight today, and tomorrow the weight of that student changes. So it's infinite, it's continuous. So when next we meet, we are going to do that of group data, and we'll solve questions in relation to this. So you can pause play, and write them down, so that when we move to the next lesson 2, we'll be flowing along together. Thank you very much for your time. See you later.